I don't really know. I didn't change anything. So let's
Okay.
And my latency is all over the place right now, but maybe that has something to do with it too. Weird. Closing everything else just to make sure nothing's eating anything up.
Oh, that was too much.
All right, we're gonna go live here.
That.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a quick second. I'm having some technical difficulties. It seems like on my end that we're trying to figure out here. If anything doesn't go correctly, I will make sure to record this and post the correct video later. But we're just trying to make sure this looks right. For some reason, on my end, on my preview, see the actual live window looks right. Okay. For some reason,
that's all that matters, right?
For some reason, right now the preview window, only shows like my face. Like that's how small the preview window is, and I'm like, okay,
sign me up for that YouTube video. Just a close up of your face for 60 minutes.
Yeah. You get every expression, every crease, everything. You know, all the oil and everything sitting in there.
Every smarls, all of it, man.
Mm-hmm. So. All right. Well, we're gonna get
change over to talk shows and podcasts. I always forget that. Ooh, I need to have a button. I need to set up a part on my Stream Deck for game changes.
I have three. I have three of them on mine. Just for that, 3 games. It's like Just Chatting, Apex, and something else, or like it's like 3 games or something like that.
Set up a page with the standard stuff, and at least the podcast for sure, because we do this every week. I think I'd be prepared, but I got the new logo on.
I see that. I see that. I like it. I know he's gone.
Rest in peace, Super Dead. You were loved, but now you've been lost.
All right. Let me hit record, and we'll get ready to start. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of What the Wednesday. We are now in February. What day? I should start looking at the date before I hit go live. February 3rd is today. We are 5 days out from 4 days out from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
4 days out from the Super Bowl.
It's on Sunday.
Yeah,
that's all we can say. Whatever that date is.
This upcoming Sunday, we have Super Bowl 45. Is that what we're at?
Not even close.
I have no idea. What number is it?
54?
54? 55? It's got an L in it. I know that. So
yeah. I know LI. That was Brady's 51. That was the big Falcons comeback.
So we're gonna say that we're at 55 or so, whatever it is, something like that. I don't even know. But Jamie's yelling at me from across the room. 55 right now. So
she probably knows more than we do.
She probably does. So. Hosted in our home state of Florida. Super excited about it, but it looks like it's going to be a cold event, right?
It does. When I see 60 as a high for Sunday, which, I mean, everybody who's not in Florida is probably like, it's not cold. What are you guys talking about? It's chilly for Florida, okay?
It's going to be
I see a 71, so it's not too bad.
Oh, 71 on Sunday? Okay, that's not too bad then. I think we'll be okay. But it'll be interesting to talk about the results. It'll be interesting to talk about the results of the game maybe a little bit next week because, I mean, we don't talk a lot about football. We don't talk a lot about sports. But, right now they're saying,
year for sports.
Yeah, they're saying like already that if Mahomes doesn't win, he'll never catch Brady as like best QB of all time. And all this other kind. They were saying this is like a career changing event for both of these quarterbacks. As they go in and lead their teams to what they hope to be a victory, right? And
for sure, this would be like cementing Brady's legend for sure if he can bring home another one, especially with another team. Because that's his biggest thing. Getting away from Belichick and still doing it.
I will say that there's like the dolphin. There's some kind of dolphin that does like a prediction and it swims to something to choose the team that wins or something. That's
a psychic dolphin.
Yeah, so that picked Kansas City to win. And apparently they did a simulation game already on Madden 21.
Madden?
And the Madden simulation said that Kansas City won as well. So it's not looking good for Tampa Bay right out the gate.
Brady's a guy you don't want to put the odds against.
That's what everybody's saying. That's what everybody's saying is it's
him out, and that's when he plays his best.
That's what everybody's saying. It's not that they think Tampa Bay's the better team. It's that you just don't bet against Brady. Like that's just the thing, right? That's what everybody says. So every time you do, he ends up showing you who's better, right? So we'll see what happens. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see.
I'm pulling for Tampa. So.
I mean, we have to, right? It's the home team.
Yeah,
it's the home team. I've got
I'm
my
a Pats fan, but like, you gotta love Brady, and I just don't like Patrick Mahomes. Nothing against the guy. He's just too good. He's too young and he's too good. It's a jealousy thing. It
is funny watching the difference between the way Mahomes and Brady play today, though. That's a little crazy, but
oh yeah.
We could probably spend too long talking about football if we get too sidetracked on that.
Next week
we'll have
talk about.
Yeah, there you go. But other than that, how's your week been going, Dusty? How's everything going for you right now?
It's been good. I mean, it's been chilly. So the AC's off, the fans are off, sweatpants came out. It's been a cold week. Dude, but, other than that, man, I'm always living life, loving life. So
I think I've had the same pair of sweatpants on since like last Saturday or something like that. Okay. Right?
That and some nice comfy slippers. Oof.
Yep, my house shoes came out of the closet. Yep, that's exactly what happened. I've been sitting with blankets on when if I'm not on video calls or anything like that. You got blankets around you as you're working in the house and stuff. But
right.
Yeah. I've been trying to avoid turning the heat on. Like I'm at home by myself during the day, right? It's just me, and I'm like, I don't want to turn the heat on for just me.
Right.
I don't want to do it. So, it's been like 68, 67 in the house during the day, and I'm like just kind of shaking.
See, no, that's the beauty of the computer rooms. You come in here, you throw on a render or something, like really kick that GPU into high gear, and it raises the temperature of the room at least 5 to 10 degrees.
Oh yeah, My office here during the day when I've got both machines running, it's always like 10 degrees warmer in my office. I mean, it's great during the winter. During the summer, it's not so fanciful to be enjoying that 110 degree, office versus 90 in the rest of the house. But
we survive. It could be worse, right? Our winter lasts like a week down here, maybe 10 days total.
Oh,
so.
By the way, they did make the announcement for the iguana alert.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
For all the iguanas freezing and falling out of trees.
Those poor iguanas, man.
Only in Florida.
Doesn't happen too often, but I feel bad for those little guys.
Only in Florida do iguanas freeze and fall out of trees. Like, I mean, come on.
I'd love to be walking somewhere and have that happen. It's like plops down in front of you.
Oh my god, that would be
winter's here.
It would be hilariously yeah. If you were just walking in, somebody's with you and they're like, "Yep,
yeah,
there it is."
Yeah, it doesn't snow. It rains iguanas in Florida at wintertime. Florida Man articles.
Yep. So, jumping in, let's again, we're sidetracking ourselves. We haven't even gotten started yet. We're sidetracking ourselves twice there.
We got a nice big entree of a conversation, I feel like, tonight too. So.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're gonna start off tonight, and we're just gonna jump straight into the title of the podcast. And just go straight into it. And starting with the idea, we had a discussion, man, when were we talking just offline? It was like a week ago. It was earlier this week. It was like 2-3 days ago. We were talking offline about
on several occasions.
Thursday. It was Thursday. It was Monday, because I was talking about it on I was talking about it on my stream. Yep. I was talking about it on the Twitch stream before we got started, and offline we kept talking about it a little bit. But just the effectivity, right? Or the effectiveness.
I like that word.
The effectivity.
Yeah.
The effectiveness of other social media platforms as a streamer. I know we've kind of touched on this topic before, but today we're going to go right into one, specifically at the beginning at least, and reference TikTok. TikTok has become what people expect from content creators today. And I'm going to say that like that, it's the in platform. It's the in platform, right? And so, it's what Twitter was 5 years ago, right? Like if you didn't have a Twitter, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Maybe 10 years ago. I don't know how old Twitter is. Yeah. And then Instagram had its phase. And then now I think TikTok is working into that space. Right.
Yeah,
and TikTok
at the beginning, MySpace before that, they do seem to go through their rotations of like, I'm not going to call it the fad social platform because they don't go away really, except for Vine, rest in peace. But they definitely have their popularity spikes, and then they pass the baton on. and currently that baton is in TikTok's hands.
So the discussion, I guess we want to kind of start out and say, I think we have not two differences of opinion, but two different philosophies on how to effectively use these platforms. Namely,
sure.
namely TikTok. So I want to get some information or some feedback from you first and try to say, what do you think is the value of TikTok to a streamer specifically? Let's rephrase.
Okay, yeah.
Again. Let me step back and say, to a streamer who's trying to grow his channel, right? Everybody knows that if you're already a big streamer, anywhere you put your eyes, people will go, or anywhere you put your content, people will go there because you've already got an audience that is everywhere, right? Your audience already exists. But if you're trying to create an audience for your stream, you're trying to grow your stream to that level. Is TikTok an effective platform to use to do that?
So, I mean, plain and simple, my answer is no. I don't think that any platform is the answer. It's not me saying stay away from them, but going into TikTok expecting to post on there, you go viral, you start to blow up, you get 50,000, 100,000, whatever it may be, follows and likes, and then expecting to see any results comparable to that through your Twitch stream as well by advertising it or posting it however you want to try to share it on your TikTok. They're just two very different types of consumable content. Like, this streaming platform is not, to me, in any way a 60-second video. Which, again, TikTok, it can be 10 seconds, it can be 2 minutes, they can go on for a while if they want to, but for the most part, we'll say they're all about a minute or less. And Twitch is, you're in for the long haul when you sit down to watch a content creator on Twitch. You're there to try to get to know them and interact. It's not recorded content. This is live. There's no time to edit and cut. And who knows these TikTokers, how many times they tape some of these things before they put up that one video that they really liked. It gives them the opportunity. I'm not saying people do, but you can try to fake and do acting and emotions and this and that. Because again, you're trying to sell somebody on 30 seconds. So you want it to be the best 30 seconds possible. But you can't have hopes. Or I shouldn't say hopes. You can't have expectations from any social platform, in my mind, to help you grow. Sure, they can, but banking on it and getting upset when you become huge on TikTok and it doesn't translate to Twitch that's just, I don't know, it's negligent and silly on your part to think so.
So I would start to agree with you in a sense that you totally hit one of the main, my one contention points with it, or two of my contention points with it, where there is a limitation on the duration of the video, right? There's I think is it not limited to 90 seconds or something? I swear there is some kind of limitation to it. I don't know specifically.
I feel like I've seen like a super long TikTok before.
Maybe it isn't. Maybe that's just the tradition is that they, they're 90 seconds or less, but I know you can live stream on TikTok too. So maybe there's a live stream going on or something, but I would say that you're totally right. And people that enjoy quick fill content don't always enjoy long-winded content. It's like the difference between getting, 100,000 views or 10,000 views. I'm not even going to go huge. It's like a difference between getting 10,000 views on a 2-minute YouTube video where your watch time is 98% and getting 1,000 views on a 10-minute video where your watch time is 10%. You're still getting more minutes watched on that 10-minute video because of the fact, I mean, my numbers probably didn't make sense there. They probably actually didn't work out right mathematically, but calculations. But, that 10-minute video may not look like it got as many views, but there was a lot more watch time. I think the thing with TikTok is the consumption rate is substantially higher. The consumption rate is substantially higher because they're so short and people don't feel overwhelmed waiting that entire duration. right? Like, it's not like you're waiting 5 minutes to consume something and then you're like, oh, I don't have time for anything else. You just literally scroll through and you're like, okay, 60 seconds. I got time for one more. Oh yeah, I'm walking to the whatever. I'm walking, and then it's constantly, and they're constantly playing. There's no like next video, click here, right? They're constantly playing. Like, they're in your face all the time.
It's like a never ending top 10 reel of just funny moments and things like that.
So I do think there's a really, really, really difficult approach transitioning that mentality, or that like, I'm here for the quick consumption, and translating that over to, I'm going to come watch you for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a big gap there, and how to close that gap is something that I think a lot of people need to discover.
True. Yeah, I don't know necessarily if there is a way to close that gap, which that might be where we start to really differ on ideas. Can confirm it's 60 seconds, but they have been rolling out to a lot of users early access to a 3-minute length, so that might have been what I saw.
Gotcha. Okay.
Excuse me.
So, there was a second thing you covered there, because I said there was 2 points. That 60-second one, it was the length issue. There was another one in there, and I'll piece it together in a little bit. But you had another. Continue. I should have wrote it down.
Yeah, you're fine. No, I was going to start diving into as far as content connection as well. I think that the platforms are very different going off of people's attention span and things like that. So what you do on Twitch may not just translate in any way, shape, or form to TikTok, and that's okay. I'm not saying don't use it because of that. I think what can be a problem is people trying to spread themselves too thin across all social media platforms and try to somehow make all of their content connect. I think personally it's all right. Like, I've done a few TikTok videos, and for me on there, it's more about weight loss style stuff, which that's not really at all what my content on Twitch is about. It's trying to get some likes and watches and stuff like that. I'm nothing big yet. But I don't think they necessarily have to connect. I think, sure, maybe the chances that they're like, man, this person's interesting, maybe I'll go check their Twitch stream out, maybe is a little bit more likely if the content connects. But I think, honestly, in my mind, it's just they're either going to connect with you as a person and want to come check you out, or they're not. And the content doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's where I think that's where I definitely differ there, because from my perspective, I would say that the idea is staying on brand. And we've talked about that before. And I mentioned that, on Monday, that I think staying on brand is the most important thing that you can do as far as a content creator, because if you're trying to capture those individuals, like if you're trying to capture something specific, or you're trying to find an audience, you want to find a way to get that audience to like all of your content, because you may play, we've talked about it in the past, you may have somebody who has some really cool dance videos or some really in-depth motivational speaking stuff, and then you come over to
my dance videos,
and then you come over to watch their live streams, and it's just them sitting in front of a screen playing Call of Duty, cursing at the kids that are hackers and stuff like that, right? Like, there's no correlation there going from motivational speaking to video game player, right? Like, it just doesn't happen naturally. Now, if you're a motivational speaker by trade and you're doing these TikToks to do that, and then you have a long, like 2-hour just chatting session, when your stream starts, you have 45 minutes where you're talking to people and you're connecting, or you have a subject that you're going to cover, and then you stroll into games or something like that. Totally agree. Then that becomes something where you're staying on brand, right? You're staying with your content. I just don't think that you're going to consistently have an engagement with a community of people that want to come watch your streams unless what they're watching on TikTok relates to what you're doing. If you blow up enough, right? If you become this huge TikToker, it might work. It might work, right? Where you're not on brand and you're not related. But I think you even had some evidence where that didn't.
Yeah. No, yeah. I had a TikToker that I watch where it's like a husband and a wife. They're a younger couple. They do like funny skit type stuff, with 5 million plus followers. I don't know how many hundreds of millions of likes and stuff like that. And the husband streams Call of Duty and gets like 4 concurrent viewers, which shows there's a huge disconnect. Which to me, again, I'm not saying that that's what every single. Sure, there's exceptions, but I don't like to count the exceptions. This might be one the other way. I haven't seen enough evidence where a lot of people are blowing up on Twitch off of their TikTok, besides Jordy 2D, the Call of Duty guy there. But even that, I don't know what his numbers are like lately. I don't know if it's something that's going to sustain or whatever it may be. But excuse me.
Now,
I just think. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll ask this content couple that you've mentioned. Do they have references to his Twitch content in their TikTok content?
Yeah, they've had some videos where, like she's part of the video is her coming up on him while he's streaming, comment about that. And they say the link is in their profile.
Okay.
Part of their link tree or whatever that thing is that everybody uses. But to me, I just think there's too much of a disconnect between the platforms where being on brand or not doesn't. I mean, like I said, if anything, maybe it'll help a little bit, but I don't think that you're getting enough traffic from one to the other where it'll matter. So again, if you can be off brand in a sense, even again, I don't know. I don't like branding just being like, I just do one thing and one thing only, because technically I'm a streamer, which technically means I can do whatever I want, right? There is no brand in that sense. But I guess how I think at it is, if you can do something else that you are good at and get more eyes on that type of content, whatever it may be, is that better than being on brand and not getting a lot of following to try to transfer it over? You got to kind of compare in that sense, I guess.
I guess that's a good objective, or a good sense. There is, we've mentioned in the past that impressions mean everything, right? The more eyes, the better. The more engagement, the better. So if you have an opportunity to say I made a TikTok and I talked about microphones for 60 seconds at a time. I'm just throwing out something random, right?
Yeah,
I talked about microphones for 60 seconds at a time. Are people going to watch my TikToks? Is that going to blow up? Or if I do something where I run into a glass door like a doofus, right?
I watched that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody standing on the inside of the glass door recording it while I walk straight into it or something like that, right? Like, I don't know, right? That's going to blow up on TikTok. Is it better to blow up and have people go to my TikTok, find other links, try to get it to carry over? I think that might be true. I think you might be right there. Now, how feasible is it? Because I know TikTok now has a Windows app, which I haven't used. I don't have.
You can use it through the browser too.
Okay, you can upload to TikTok through the browser and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can have videos like you can take a Twitch clip, download it, open up the TikTok browser, and post it that way.
But everything in TikTok is that, like.
Yeah, it does kind of get weird with the view of it.
How does that work? If you don't crop or edit it, or if you don't do any editing, it puts a huge amount of letterboxing on it, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I would definitely try to edit it for a phone screen.
Yeah. So they have the Windows app now. I was kind of going on the idea of, for the people that you follow on TikTok, and this might be something that anybody in the audience that, happens to know or happens to use TikTok regularly. When's the last time you went to somebody's profile to get their link tree actually go and look off TikTok for their other platforms that they're on, right? That's going to be my question. Is like,
very rarely,
unless you're providing. Here's my thought process on that. Unless you're providing educational content, I don't see. And maybe this is where that gets correlated to. Unless you're providing educational content, or your video is strictly about, hey guys, come and check me out on this other platform. This is just an information. This is my infomercial for my channel.
Right. Yeah.
I've already got the followers. I don't have, I don't expect 1 million likes on this, but I just wanted to say, hey, for all of you that are following me, if you happen to see this, come check me out over here, right? Unless you have an opportunity to do that, you might be right. You might be right. The engagement and going to the platform, clicking on the link, carrying it over, right, doesn't seem like it's something that would happen. The few profiles, I mean, I only follow, I have a TikTok because I made one TikTok video. Ooh. And I know. It was fabulous.
Check that
I was brushing my beard. That was my TikTok video. I don't know. It's one of those weird.
Classy.
So, anyways, yeah, it's terrible.
Some ASMR stuff going on there, Keith?
It's terrible. So I had one TikTok video, right, and I deleted it. I was like, I'm not messing with it. I'm done with it. Whatever. But the few people that I did follow on there, like, I liked them. I thought they were good. But again, I followed them on TikTok, maybe 20 accounts, maybe. But I never went to their profiles. I never tried to find any additional content. If I was on TikTok, it was because that's what I had time to do and that's where I wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for me, it's, again, that one couple, when they mentioned the streaming thing at one point, I went to check. I've had some people where, like, the video says, like, part 2, you know, and it's like a reaction to something else or a continuation. So I've gone and looked at their channel for that just so I can find the video. But again, I wasn't reading any of the bio or anything like that. I was just scrolling down to see a part 1 and then moving on. Because that content is just consumed so quick. Like, again, it's a commercial reel that just keeps on going, you know? But there's no show. You're never back to, like, the main attraction. It's just... So maybe that's what's best to do, you know? You just want your commercial to stand out amongst the other 15 they're watching. Get those eyes on. And again, maybe something too, like we were talking in private, where whatever you're doing for your content, just in a corner, top, bottom, somewhere on the screen, just put your Twitch link.
So I would say this: if I ever see a video that says, like, check out the next one, or if I get 1,000 likes, part 2 will be posted. Yeah. I immediately turn that off.
Yeah, you're just like,
I'm like, no. It's like, now you're just fishing. Like, at that point, you're fishing. Like, that is old school. Sure. That is, I clicked on this because I wanted to see it. Where is it? Right? Like, I wanted this.
Like, it's never actually exciting or fulfilling or in any way, shape, or form what you are hoping it would be. But they got you there. You know, they got your view.
Oh yeah. But so I'm trying to think, because I can name 20 streamers that I directly know, right? And I don't know a whole lot, so 20 is pretty high up the list of people that I actually interact with regularly. And I can say that one has had a successful approach using TikTok to gain viewers. And the only reason I think it worked is two reasons. I've seen them do two different things. The first one being,
Can I guess before you go into it?
Can I?
Because I don't know. I just was gonna guess what.
Go ahead. Can you ask?
Were they giving tips on streaming?
No. Well,
dang.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe some of the videos were. But see, that's one there. So let me finish my statement and then we'll go over to that.
Yeah.
Right? So the first one was they were live streaming on TikTok with their phone while they were streaming on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
They had an engaging following that was able to, like, actually connect with them. Yeah. And so they were talking to the TikTokers, right? Because again, when they started doing it, they had 25,000 followers on TikTok, but they had 3 concurrent viewers, right? Or something. So honestly, and that was probably him, his wife, and probably me. I mean, to be realistic, right? So 3 concurrent viewers or something like that, right? Okay. And so he's spending way more time talking to the TikTok chat than he is the Twitch chat. And at that point, TikTok is just connecting with him there, right? Because it's his phone. You don't see a computer, you don't see a game, you don't have any of that. So he can talk to TikTok that way, right? And he can tell them, hey, by the way, it's much easier for me to communicate with you. I have a much better microphone. I have a much better camera. I have a much better setup. Yeah. If you just come and log into my Twitch side, then and he had a healthy transition because he was actively engaging with those individuals that were popping in. I mean, it'd be like 2 or 3 people would come into the live TikTok feed, and then because they'd just be scrolling through and they'd see he was live, right? So and then it pushed his stream up to like 10 viewers, right? So that's a transition of 7 viewers or something over an hour. That
like 300% on what he was doing. Yeah. So that's
and
big.
I don't know if that's a gray area in terms of TOS or whatever, because technically you're not feeding TikTok the content that you're feeding Twitch, right? It's two different streams. It's two different applications. I don't know. That's one of those gray areas. We've talked in the past where like impressions grow if you can grow, right? There is no like... I mean, there is a morality clause in there somewhere, but there is no wrong way to do it as long as you're not harming other people while you're doing it, right? Kind of thing. As long as you're not stealing, cheating.
Told not to.
Yeah, unless you're not stealing, cheating, kicking other people down, do what you got to do to grow, right? Yeah. So that was one effective method. The other was posting TikToks about something that you're going to do on stream at some point during the stream. And so it's very related, saying like, hey guys, I'm going live at this time. If you happen to watch this, at some point during my live stream, I will be doing this that I normally do as a TikTok video, but it's going to happen live and you guys can make fun of me or whatever while I'm doing it, right? Kind of thing. And I feel like that was another way to slowly engage. And they had those TikToks had some of their highest view counts and some of their highest engagement rate, and pushed, their last stream that I saw, they had almost 30 viewers or something. I think they peaked at 24 viewers or something like that, which again, going from 3 to 5 to 24 average in a matter of 2 months is that's huge on a growth level. Huge.
Very nice jump. Yeah. Yeah. And where that places you as far as level of streamers is a massive jump, as we know.
So it's just one of those. It's one of those things where, like, again, it's probably not going to work for everybody. It's probably not going to work for everybody. But if you can find a way to make it work, if you can find a strategy, that connects with your community, maybe that's the right answer. Yeah. Now, going back to your streaming tips, going back to your idea of streaming tips, that is one thing that I think is a really good idea, but how do you fit streaming tips into 60 seconds?
A hot minute, man. It's the killer for a lot of like any content with any type of depth whatsoever. It's tough. I don't know.
I mean, I told you just the or I released yesterday to my patrons. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to all of our patrons and Twitch subscribers, Twitter followers, Discord members, everybody that's out there. We love you all, and because of you all, we are able to provide content to you like this on a consistent basis. Do you have any additional thing you want to say as to my little infomercial there?
Nah, I mean, yeah, just shout outs, all the love, the patrons growing each and every day, which is awesome. Fractured Lotus, the Mike Guy case, love you. Keep it up. The support, it will yield great benefits down the line. Keep pushing out awesome content for you guys.
Okay, so back to I just released a video on my Patreon page with about setting up microphone gain. Right. And that released last night to my patrons, and then it's going to go live publicly to the rest of to everybody else later, early next week. It'll go public early next week. And I tried to make that video so short, and it still came out to be 7 minutes long. I was like, there's no way I could do this on TikTok. Right. Like it to me, TikTok is like, it's a spoof platform. That's what I want to call it. Yeah. It's like how to make a pizza, and then you throw something down, and then all of a sudden magically a pizza appears, right? Like I've seen a bunch of those. It's like how to improve, jump cutting, like insane, like how to improve your internet, and somebody takes a router and throws it in the garbage, right? Or you know what I mean? Like throw this away, open this up, there, your internet's better, right? Like it's very, very, very silly. Like it's very, very hard, or at least I have not found any content on TikTok. It might be out there. I just don't dig enough. I haven't found naturally any content on TikTok that wasn't comedic or meant to be entertainment content, right? Yeah. Finding the how-to, the self-discipline, the educational content, right? Finding any of that has been very, very hard for me.
There's a search function, right? Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
I've never searched personally. I would assume there is, because I'm just one of those ones that you just the very few times I open it up, it's just the quick swip. This is interesting. All right, it's done. Next. But yeah, again, it's when I'm just trying to fill a couple minutes of nothing, and I'm not looking for content with depth personally when I'm on there. I'm looking for a chuckle. But that's why, again, I don't know. I agree. That's good. I like the concept of live streaming both platforms at the same time. That's definitely a way to attempt to, that's the closest you can get the two groups together, right? Is have them both live in front of you right there at the same time. That's how you can get them. It's not like you're on TikTok and saying, hey, I stream at this time every day. It's like, hey, I'm live right now. Come check me out.
You're already on your phone. All you have to do is go to this other site, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah. So that's a great way to attempt to make the connection between the two platforms. But yeah, I guess if your content can work around that, I could see it being helpful. But again, I don't know. It's still not for everybody, right?
So I think I would take a step to say like that. Expecting growth specifically from your social media platforms is not necessarily the right answer. Right? Like you should not you want to leverage social media to grow on those you want to leverage social media to grow in other areas, to allow you to diversify your content, get your brand recognized, and then draw that recognition back into like it. To me, it goes to the same line of effect for those who are on Twitter and 99% of their tweets are, I went live and hey, I had an awesome stream today, guys. You missed out. Go check the VOD. Like that is 99% of their tweets. And I see it all the time. And I'm like, I get it, but what else are you trying to teach me on Twitter? Like, what are you trying to engage me with on Twitter? If I comment on this or if I like this, are you gonna reply to my comments? If I ask you a question, what is the value you bring besides telling me you're on Twitch? What does your Twitter account do? Right?
Yeah.
And I think, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say that I think that's where a lot of people get disconnected, and they think that it always has to be a transition back to your master profile or whatever, like your master source of content, whatever it is. Like Twitter should feed Twitch, and TikTok should feed Twitch, and Instagram should feed Twitch. You should be more along the lines of just growing each platform. Stay on brand, but grow them. Don't even mention that you're a streamer. Like, just talk about your brand, talk about microphones, talk about whatever. Make sure you post original content to each platform as best you can, right? Do something fun on each platform as best you can. Make it different. Otherwise, people are going from, like, nobody's going to follow your Instagram when you already post all the photos on Twitch. Or Twitter, sorry. When you already post the photos on Twitter, nobody's going to follow your Instagram.
It's fair.
Nobody's going to go in your Discord when all your Discord is doing is relaying your tweets. Like when and I'm saying that's all it's doing, right? If you don't do anything in Discord but have automated bots feeding your tweets and go live posts and stuff like that, and you're not actually engaging in your Discord, nobody's going to join you there. Like those profiles are supposed to be for something else. Then when somebody's like, then when you get somebody that engages, like every time you post a tweet, somebody comments back on it, or they're really getting related or getting involved with your content, then you can kind of hook them, right? You've already got them in one platform, and then you can say, hey, by the way, if you want to engage with me more, come over here and find out what else I got for you. You know, I think that's the better approach that people need to start thinking of, and not necessarily, I think it's almost too easy. It's become too easy to have these other platforms exist.
Yeah.
You know, and because they don't cost anything, there's no value in them because you don't there's no value in them because you don't put value in them.
Yeah. No, and I think the problem has become so many people are out there, the ones who give streaming advice, you know, and they're telling everybody, You need to spend as much time as you're doing live on the other social platforms. You got to make sure you have a presence everywhere, which it's right. You want eyes on, but I think they need to go a step further, and they need to be telling people that with these other social platforms, you need to be leveraging them for what they're best for. This Twitch live stream that we do, we're not on here playing recorded video. That's for YouTube. And, Twitter, it's about creating some type of engaging conversation because the impressions are based off the comments and replies and things like that. So don't just sit there and post live tweets and post pictures all day long. Pictures is Instagram. TikTok is nice, short little videos. There's lots of fads that go through, like, I know sea shanties or something like that are really big on TikTok right now, which I can't sing, so you're not going to get a sea shanty out of me. But you have to leverage the platforms for the consumption the viewers are looking for to get the most eyes on your content. And then what you got to make sure you're doing is somewhere in your profile, you link. If you want it to be Twitch as the main focus, have a link to your Twitch somewhere. If you're not doing that, you're definitely doing the whole social platforming thing wrong. If you don't have a Twitch link on your Twitter and you're posting your go live or like stuff like that, you're doing it wrong. Your Instagram, you're posting a picture of your setup, there's no link to your Twitch, you're doing it wrong. So you just have to make sure you're taking that extra step and figuring out what the social platforms are best for and using those tools properly. You don't go out in the backyard and dig with a spoon. So I think you got to treat the social platforms like the right tool they are. That's my spiel.
So I will say, commenting on your providing links and things like that, I will say, you mentioned Linktree. I was using social.io or something like that as another one. I just didn't like the ability to, you didn't have the ability to customize those, and you didn't have the ability to make them your own, right? So I will say anybody out there, one tip that I do have is if you have a Google account, use sites.google.com. You can create your own website, take that link, embed it in a bit.ly, right? And then put that in your profile, and you can have a fully customized, and if you want to go a step further and pay $12 a year, you can buy a domain name, right? And then have Google host the site for you, and have something that's customized and fit for you. And it just clicked to me. It literally just clicked to me like 3 days ago when I was looking at my social.io page, and I was like, this thing looks terrible. Like I clicked on it. I clicked on it from an external thing, and I was like, this thing looks bad. Like there's nothing about this on here that I want to say that this looks professional. So I was like, where do I get a free website nowadays? I mean, I'm used to, Angel Fire, right? Like I'm just thinking old, right?
Damn, dude. So
I'm thinking Angel Fire days, right? So I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I don't even know what I haven't built a website in forever. I know there's Wix and WordPress and all this other kind of stuff out there today, GoDaddy still and all that. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm just gonna go to Google and I'm gonna type in, Google Sites, and I literally typed that in, and sites.google.com came up, and I was like, Google has an answer for everything. I hate to say that. I really hate to say that, but Google has an answer for everything. Here you go.
Always.
Feed that in there, and then I built a nice little site. It's got links. It's got embedded playlists. It's got all kinds of stuff in it now, and it's very personalized to the way I wanted, what portions of my content I wanted visualized, and then has links to all of my other social media profiles. And it worked so well to what I think that I want my brand to look like versus, just that generic, here's a link, here's a bunch of hyperlinks for people to click on.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. Because again, if like somewhat of your on brand representing yourself, you want to do so in every aspect. And I agree that I hate the look of those link trees and whatever other, here's just my boxes with the word YouTube, Twitch written on them. It's like, no, I want to experience the content. So
yeah. So that's
click on those.
That's one of those that I think it's a great step forward. Personally, I really, really feel like people undervalue the ownership of their own website. I really think people don't include a good concept of what having your own website really looks like, because like yours, TheGameHopper.com, right? Just owning the domain in itself shows some level of professionalism. right? It really does. It shows taking it seriously. I have been the biggest lazy person in buying a domain. And it's not even laziness. I'm one of those that, like, once I buy it, I want it to be the domain, right? Like, I want this to be the only one I have to buy. I don't want to have to buy 10 of them. But so I've been really, really trying to figure out branding wise, like, what do I want my domain name to be? Because now I don't know if yours comes with like an email address, but like going from themikeguy@gmail.com to chris@themikeguy.com is a huge difference as far as like recognition when you hand somebody like a business card or you're giving out your information. It's a totally different thing when people look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I do think Gmail is very popular these days, so it's not looked down like, like the Hotmail and stuff back when we were younger. But I do agree. Yeah, the domain definitely helps. Mine's so freaking long is why I don't use that email that I have. Like, I don't know what I would do. Like, imagine if I start handing out stuff, TheGameHopper@TheGameHopper.com. Type out that 64 character, like, but no, yeah, you're right. The professionalism is nice. And again, it's a business. You got to treat it like such. So any way you can do that, I think, is going to be a plus.
You could do a hop at TGH.com or like try to grab another one that's, TGH.TV or .net or whatever it is, right? Like some kind of alternative.
I did go through that dilemma of, like, I had the options to go .tv, .gg, and I was like, I don't know, just the .com just still to me seems like
.com is still is still the base. Like every time I think of it, like I always have you don't know the number of times I've typed in the wrong domain because I've typed in .com instead of .net or something like that, right? And it is .com is still the base for a website, and it just like I wish the Mike I personally tried to buy the MikeGuy.com and it's taken, so I can't leverage that, but. Dang. I was like, how do I make this work now? Like, what do I do? Do I go with the .net? And then I'm fighting that guy because every time because now that somebody owns the .com. So every time you go to the you tell somebody it's .net, and they're going to go to .com and find the wrong site. And they're going to be like, this isn't what I was looking for. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's .net or, it's .biz, .us, whatever, right? Like one of those weird domains. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
look like they're using it for anything. Oh no, they do. Oh god, it's not a great website.
Are you on it right now?
Yeah, he's a voice actor. That's the Mike guy, and I think his name is Mike. Mike, the Mike guy.
Oh, great. He'll
have to reach out to him, see how much he wants for it.
Yeah, how much you want for your domain, dude? I want to buy it from you. Anyway, so. Touching back a little more, Twitter, Instagram, just guys, make sure, this is my reach out to the listeners here. Make sure that whatever you do fit the platform you're on. Don't try to force people. Maybe that's where we've been talking about TikTok. Don't try to force people off of the platform they're already on. Try to commit to them on that platform. Right? You should have, I think if you want to grow a streaming platform, I do think you need multiple sources of engagement in order to bring people to your Twitch or streaming or YouTube streams or wherever you're streaming at, right? Like Facebook, whatever, right? You need to find multiple ways to get them to come to your content, but don't try to force people off of the content that they're already on. People use Twitter because they like it. People use TikTok because they like it. Instagram, etc., right? People use these platforms because that's the platform that they want to be on already. If they wanted to be on Twitch, that's where they would be. And a lot of people do watch Twitch already, but don't try to force them off. Find a way to connect with the audience there, and then they'll naturally want to come over and spend more time with you in other platforms.
And make sure that when they go to look and find where you are, they have a way to do so.
Excellent point. I like that a lot, and maybe that's the better mindset to fit. It's not to say that any platform doesn't help you grow as a streamer. Like I think that takes both of our ideas and kind of melds them together.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Because that goes to the same point, back to TikTok again. That goes to the same point. If all you're doing on TikTok is posting your clips, People don't need to come watch your stream because they're watching the best parts of your stream already. You're giving them the best part of your stream for free. They don't have to spend the time with you. They've already got you here. And they don't have to wait. It's like DVRing a TV show. It's exactly what it is. DVR the TV show so that way you don't have to spend all the time waiting for that clip moment, and then you just watch the highlight reel. And then you're good to go. You're done. I think that's that, and so stop leveraging TikTok. Stop leveraging TikTok just to benefit your stream. Do it to benefit the people on TikTok. You need to benefit the audience, so that way they naturally want to come spend more time with you.
Yep. Because if it's about eyes on, you want to get as many eyes on as possible. We always come back to that.
Yes. That's true. That's true. You always want to get as many eyes as you can there, and then spread those eyes out in other areas. Yeah. Man, that was almost 50 minutes. Almost 50 minutes on that.
It's a lot. There's a lot to get into.
So you had another small topic that you wanted to chat about as well. That you mentioned to me.
That can probably fill up the last 5-10 minutes.
What do you got?
It really was just in speaking in terms of streaming. Is there a perfect length for your stream? Is there such thing as, man, he really should have cut his stream off like an hour ago. He's gone too far, or man, he cut off his stream early. And then another thing too, just reading your chat and your viewership and making the decision to turn it off early or late, whatever it may be. Just kind of getting your opinions and feelings on that.
So, I mean, you know me, there's been a few times where I've streamed just a little bit too long. And I don't know what you're talking about. We're not going to talk about it. You got to come and watch my streams in order to know when those nights are. There you go.
Perfect.
But I do think that there's a point where people, there's an importance to being on a schedule, right? There is an importance to being on a schedule, no doubt. But I do think there's definitely a value in extending your stream if you're really engaging to your viewers, right? Don't give them the ability to take your time away, right? Like if your schedule is, 9 to 2 or whatever it is, right? I think that's what mine is. Mine's 9 to 1, right? If your schedule is 9 to 1 and that's it, and it's 1 o'clock and you've got a good conversation going on, or you're engaged with the audience at that moment, by all means, carry it on 15, 20 minutes. Don't do it another hour or two just because you have people there, right? Like you need to be upfront with your viewers to say, hey guys, this is where it's going to end tonight. Thank you for watching so much. We're going to go raid or do whatever you got to do, right? To tell those viewers that this is when I'm going to stop, because otherwise they will just continue to take from you, right? You need to have your own boundaries and your own standards definitely there. As far as cutting early, I do think that there's no real reason to stream if you're not feeling it. Right? If you're in a mindset like games are going really bad, like you're a super competitive COD player. You're a super competitive COD player and you're just not in it tonight. You're getting wrecked and for some reason you can't get out of the hack lobbies and it's just super frustrating and you're just not in it. Like if it's good content because you're raging, then no problem, it's good content, right? Because then it's good content and you're doing something for them. But if you're just sitting there sulking, right? If you're just like, I can't believe these lobbies, and that's all you're doing, nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to be with you, and you're gonna see your viewer count trickle